Hello, Speedrunners Arena, and welcome to today's race in the Super Metroid Randomizer Accessible Tournament. We are in Swiss Round 6 with both runners at an impressive record of 4-1. On the left, Bagel Thief. On the right, Mochtroid. This is shaping up to be a spectacular race. I am definitely looking forward to seeing what we're going to get today because based off of record alone, there's going to be a lot of skill on display, and I'm looking forward to it. And and this is also the first match of the day with a couple more matches later tonight, but we'll talk about that later. Right here now, let's see. At 4-1, both runners are definitely getting into the rat bracket. So this is basically a match for seeding in that bracket. Well, it'll have a big play into that, I should say. And I'm already looking forward to seeing how that shakes out. Me, I'm headed for mouse bracket, but that's a whole other story. As we are getting underway. Our first stop is going to be the Morph Ball pedestal, and from there, a multitude of possibilities could await us. And an SMRAT, usually at the Morph Ball pedestal, is the Morph Ball. From there, you could get a number of items. You're definitely going to at least get some semblance of ammo slash progression in these early checks. And you can get the energy tank early in the game using a damage boost, which is not in logic, but could be something very helpful. Well, you need 3 energy tanks at the minimum to be able to beat the game, so might as well get them now. You are going to need at least 1 missile container to get to Bomb Teresa, so if this next check isn't a power bomb or morph bombs, it's going to be that. Or, both runners getting the damage boost up into the ceiling on the first try for super missiles, with regular missiles nearby. So our next stop is definitely Bomb Teresa. And the only way we won't have to fight Bomb Teresa, at least in SMRAT, is if more fall bombs rolled vanilla, which it is randomizer, it is possible. Liking the pace between both runners so far, as they're right on each other's heels, basically. The arm pumping that you're seeing moves Samus forward by 1 frame, which is meant to be a time save over the course of a run. Now, the unfortunate thing about there being no power bombs early is that you're not going to be able to see Billy Mays early at all. Not going to be able to check Old Mother Brain or 230 missile until you have bombs. Both runners getting a quick mock ball off to head down towards Bomb Teresa, and what do we have here? Ooh, Bagel Thief missed the speed keep, though. And those are cheeseburgers, aka power bombs. And yeah, the climb was super clean, super nice from both runners. And we're getting both runners going for the Alcatraz escape. Mochtroid having a bit of trouble. Bagel Thief getting it clean first try, and there it is for Mochtroid. Both are off to the same check, and that's the 230 missile. Which is missiles. So what this is it is a randomizer programmed with various, well, let's just say that the randomizer's made so that the game's beatable at all times, and the skill ceiling, well, rather the skill floor for randomizer accessible flags is pretty low. Meaning you don't have to do any crazy tricks like some other possible seeds you could have. And our Terminator item is another pack of super missiles. That was meant to be the first super missile in Logic, worth noting. Well, up at the back of Gauntlet, ooh, ice to meet you. That's the ice beam as our runner's high five, going in two different vertical directions. Although that ice beam is rather strategically placed if you wanted to grab that late before heading to Turian, because that's really the best spot to use ice beam. Bagel Thief first over to Brinstar. First try mock ball for Bagel Thief. How about Mochtroid? Also first try. And back there we start with a second energy tank, along with... Gotta let the fanfare play out. More supers. Hey, you can't say no to supers early because they are very powerful. And speak of the devil, a second pack. Someone was asking for a poll, and we got it. What will be the first suit, folks? Will it be Gravity or will it be Varia? We're already up to 3 energy tanks. Game is being awfully generous early. Off to the Etikun area. This first room of the 4 Metroid Eaters is a great room to get back up to full power bombs. Just shoot a missile straight up, there you go. And there's another super missile pack beyond the door. Missiles, but it's early and you do need a fair amount of ammo for this game. And we are seeing damage boosts from Bagel Thief to get through what is otherwise a rather treacherous room. Now, how he's doing that is he is holding the jump button while getting hit, and after he gets hit, he presses back from, well, to the right, which is because Samus is facing left, and in doing so, gains momentum going to the right. It's pretty handy speed tech, and the top level runs utilize that ad nauseum. It's amazing. And it's fun to do, too. And thanks for the raid, Old Man Sunshine. You're just in time as we are very early in the match. Mission Impossible missiles at Big Pink? Just missiles. Mochtroid picks those up, Bagel Thief does not. And Mission Impossible is power bombs, so that is, when you don't have morph ball bombs, that is very helpful to get. We shall see about that, because this much E-Tanks means you could have a 1-suit Phantoon, or potentially 0, depending on what shows up. Bagel Thief with the first try Spore Spawn skip. And look, I think I've seen that there before. Second shot on the Spore Spawn skip from Mochtroid, nicely done. Now Bagel Thief is setting up to clear these side hoppers out and go for what a wave gate glitch without high jump. Looking for an audio cue from Bagel Thief to see if he got it. Because if you see the screen shake, you know you hit something. Yep, he got it. Nicely done. And that is for an energy tank. Mochtroid making up the ground lost from missing Alcatraz by getting Wave Gate first try, and is right now on Bagel Thief's heels. Strap in, folks. This is going to be a fun one. Bagel Thief opting to get the energy tank before moving on. Good strategy. And I think that's muscle memory there as to why that super was fired. And our Green Hill Zone missile is power bombs. Yeah, 2 of the E-Tanks were speed locked, so the logic was not there for that. And we are getting divergence. Mochtroid heading towards Billy Mays. Bagel Thief continuing on, presumably towards Kraid. Oh look, another energy tank. Hey, look, I think I've seen that beam there. Is this even randomized? Mochtroid gets the jump to Billy Mays perfectly on the first try. Now, this is out of logic because you need gravity or space jump to be able to get to, and an energy tank plus supers comes out in the wash as it wasn't anything important. But that's 8 energy tanks now for Mochtroid. Worth noting that 3 of them are currently out of logic. 2 speed locked, and one was locked by either gravity or space jump. And our trade missile today, supers. Mochtroid's heading up. Interesting. This could be a play to Old Mother Brain. Ah yes, Kraid does require high jump or space jump to get to. Nice damage boost by Bagel Thief to get over to Kraid. So right now, if our progression isn't at Old Mother Brain, it's going to be in Lower Norfair. But more importantly, are we getting a stand-up glitch? And that is a reserve tank at Old Mother Brain. Mochtroid, not interested. First try, quick kill for Bagel Thief. Nice. Plasma behind Kraid. Best beam, let's go. Yep. Chat pointing out that Red Tower is also in logic because the variant rando does change up the lower part of Red Tower so you can get out without having Ice Beam. While it doesn't put Bagel ahead, and I do acknowledge this, Plasma Beam, you cannot argue against how powerful that thing is. Back to Gauntlet has Ice Beam. And Kraid was guarding the that's a French vanilla Varia suit, folks. As it was behind Kraid. That opens up Norfair. Also worth noting that these delayed wall jumps that Mochtroid are doing are not easy to do, and they're out of logic. And there's our progression to put it all back into logic. Bagel Thief on the space jump first. I believe Mochtroid's doing this to get the Ice Beam. It's the only reason I can think of. And that is going to be a massive help in terms of movement. In fact, that puts Wrecked Ship into logic based off of energy count. Because there's enough energy that he has that would put it there. And the Croc exit, nothing. Meme tank. While that would be risky, that would be a heck of a response. But right now, Bagel Thief is wanting to have a look at Norfair to see what's here, starting with Cathedral. Which is just missiles. Checking an item in Bubble Mountain, which is supers. I do believe Mochtroid is heading for Red Tower. No, could be going for CWJ Direct Ship, which would not be in logic. That's an energy tank. And our Norfair reserve is just super and power bomb ammo. Well, checking mode's not a bad play. As it could be something helpful, it may not be. But through Mochtroid, we are going to get our first look at Red Tower. Beta power bombs being just plain old missiles, and Mochtroid saying no thank you. Supers in the ceiling right before speed. And now we get our look at alpha power bombs while Bagel Thief checks speed and comes up with more supers, while alpha power bombs is just missiles and supers. Yes, so now Bagel Thief's off to check wave. 2 items here. Those enemies are going to be nothing more than a nuisance with Bagel Thief's plasma beam. And that is missiles before wave, which Bagel Thief does step into. And wave beam is super, so Wreck ship is starting to look pretty good as Crocomire is not in logic. We do not have wave beam presently, but with a gate glitch, that wouldn't stop Bagel Thief from at least checking it. And X-Ray 2 is also in logic, so there are still options on the table. Bagel making his way back towards Business Center. And Mochtroid picks up the supers, a Kraid missile. As Mochtroid closes in on Kraid, and I have a feeling when he sees what's a Kraid tank, he's gonna feel like he's behind, and that would be an accurate assessment, but it ain't over yet. Two for two on the quick kill. Both runners tell Kraid to sit down. We are getting an X-ray check from Bagel Thief. This makes sense because Space Jump does put this in logic. Careful of those spikes. They hurt way more than those waivers ever will. And those super missiles are not worth it, plus Bagel Thief's already at 65 max. Yeah, nobody's checked ice. And Mochtroid is about to find the news of where Varia is. And with that, he'll be able to access all of Norfair. But if he just goes to Business Center and then goes straight up, he would gain back a considerable amount of time. Yeah, dodging both waivers and fire fleas in the approach to X-ray as well as exiting, that ain't easy. Bagel Thief sees that there's nothing of note at Alpha Power Bombs, while Mochtroid going through Business Center does see Space Jump, didn't pick it up on this pass, but will grab it on the way out. Mochtroid not picking up a 9th tank is seeing at 8, thinking that's good enough? Probably, which is fair. And Mochtroid's going in deeper, which is going to be unfortunate for him because we already know through just watching that there is nothing here and that Bagel Thief is on the right track. And yes, CAC attacks are literal snipers. And they're quite rude too. Bagel Thief heading directly to wrecked ship, not bothering with landing site power bombs just yet. Opting to check missiles in the sky, which today is, or rather, missiles in the ground, which is super missiles at that position, and that many supers, they're not getting claimed. Neither's that missile tank that's in the ocean. Bagel Thief about to enter wrecked ship. Going to check spooky missiles first, as before you beat Kraid, the spooky missiles location, I have consistently called it this and will continue to, is the Super Metroid equivalent of the harmless Hellway from A Link to the Past. And that's also supers. This seat is loaded with super missiles. Curious as to how many packs there are, and we'll see that in the credits. And now Bagel Thief is first to Fantoon without charge. The best strat to go for would be Doppler strats with missiles, because super missiles will enrage Fantoon, and that costs a lot of time. Plus, there's also an element of Fantoon RNG. I see what you did there, Red. Very good first Doppler for Bagel Thief. I didn't count how many hits that was because they all happened so quick. Just missed the 2 cycle, but it looks like this is setting up for a 3 cycle. Yep, 3 cycle Fantoon from Bagel Thief. Nicely done. For those who are seeing Super Metroid for the first time, Phantoon is a boss that kills runs straight up because not only do those fireballs do damage, there's also a sneaky move that it pulls off called Sunrise Surprise, and if you get caught in that, it is a huge amount of damage, and it could have potentially been fatal if health was low enough. Meanwhile, Bagel Thief checking supers on the right, and that's the gravity suit! Bagel Thief with a massive advantage with that find. I'm starting to feel what chat's saying about abandoning wrecked ship, and that is the play Bagel Thief is making. Because right now, Meridia is wide open up to Batoon, and with Ice Beam and Ice Clip, if Bagel Thief pulls an Ice Clip, that's go mode. Mochtroid at Crocomire must have done the gate glitch strat. I like this play, even though it's not the correct play for this seed. And Crocomire has taken an acid bath with just missiles behind the fight. So we're betting on Croc to have speed today, apparently. Which would mean that Wave Beam would have to be somewhere if that were the case. Now we get a look to see what is behind Crocomire. First with the Croc Power Bombs, which today is more supers. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if there were 25 to 30 super packs in this seed total. Space Jump makes getting up to Grapple Beam and Indiana Jones Missile without speed trivial. Bagel Thief only opting for the single item pickup because the one on the left is just missiles. On the right is the real prize, and that's the Ice Beam. And that's Power Bombs at Indiana Jones Missiles. So, unless speed is at the Acid Missiles that Mochtroid has yet to visit, then Crocomire would be a bust. So Crocomire, having no value whatsoever, just puts Bagel Thief that much farther into the lead. But before we go any farther, a ship refill. While Mochtroid stopped for a bit of farming, from what I'm seeing here, this just shows that Out of Logic can be very hit or miss. Sometimes they pan out perfectly, and they're what you need to get ahead. Other times, they don't pan out. And it really does depend on the seed, and that goes for any randomizer that's out there. Be it Super Metroid, Link to the Past, I could go on, but those are two that come to mind. And we are getting a lava dive, folks. This is not easy, as well as high risk. No, we're not. Because Mochtroid doesn't have high jump, probably does not feel comfortable going for this. Can't blame him because high jumpless lava dive has a higher degree of difficulty than the standard lava dive with high jump. And there goes the tube on Bagel Thief's side. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Chish and chat. That is very intimidating. Third shot on the wave gate, or rather the gate glitch, nicely done. Gravity was the super missiles at the reactor on the right, guarded by Phantoons, so basically French vanilla. I would believe Bagel Thief, based off this trajectory, is making the play to lower Norfair. So with Space Jump, Bagel Thief, and Lower Norfair being in Logic, Speed Booster can be down here too. Opting to go to the right though. Not gonna bother with Showcase Showdown at all. Or Golden Chorizo. Mochtroid not bothering with picking up X-Ray. Bagel Thief in worst room in the game. Mochtroid almost dodged all the waivers and fire fleas. Just that last fire flea. Bagel Thief is on the approach to Ridley. Now, those red key hunters do 50 health of damage per hit, so watch it. Bagel Thief is not checking power bombs of shame, opting to instead go straight down. Mochtroid is going to be checking landing site power bombs. This is a new check, so it'll be interesting to see what shows up here. Just a meme tank. And now, for Bagel Thief, here's Ridley. Already getting a good pogo. And into the claws. That is that for Ridley. Nicely done by Bagel Thief. And Ridley was guarding the charge beam. That's just so dirty. I don't care if you're playing this or combo rando. Anything like that behind Ridley is dirty. And Chad is going off about that location. But we're not done here in Norfair just yet, as Bagel Thief still has to escape. Really, that seems a bit high. So Mochtroid's fighting Phantom Bagel Thief on his way out of Lower Norfair at the Mount Ridley Fireflies room. Not going for the E-Tank. Inadvertently sets off the Plasma Charge combo, which is quite powerful for those not in the know. The Plasma Cutter does something like, I want to say, correct me in this chat, but Plasma Cutter does like 300 per cutter that fires out in 4 fires, so could be wrong. With Phantom down for Mochtroid, Bagel Thief is already out of Lower Norfair. I would say based off movement, Bagel Thief feels that he's in go mode and isn't even looking for speed, or anything else for that matter. Now, unfortunately for Bagel Thief, down to 1 power bomb, so has to be real choosy about when that gets used. And Mochtroid has picked up the gravity suit. But will they stay in Wrecked Ship, or will they do what Bagel Thief did and bail? And Bagel's out of Norfair entirely. Mochtroid is doing what Bagel Thief did and getting out of wrecked ship, which is a good move for him because that prevents him from losing any more time on routing. And now in Meridia, let's see what's at Main Street, as well as Crab Supers. But Main Street's a big one because that is not an easy item to get to, and it's reverse vanilla in the Main Street room. The supers and missiles just switch spots. And with Bagel Thief heading towards Botwoon, I am led to believe that he's thinking go mode. Yep, re-equipping ice, going to need that for the ice clip. Gets it first try, so that's definitely go mode for Bagel Thief, without a doubt. Something about the plasma beam does make the Botwoon fight laggy, but that's normal. But that is Botwoon, and Mochtroid, I do believe, is heading in Lower Norfair, which does put Mochtroid about a boss plus Lower Norfair escape behind. So, it would take a lot for Mochtroid to come back, even though we never say never in SMRAT until we see a doc done. And coming up, speaking of Charge Beam, a boss that takes a lot of damage from Charge Plasma in Dragon. And with Mochtroid heading into Lower Norfair, Bagel Thief about to face off against Dragon, just waiting for the boss to spawn in, and there he is. Now, without Grapple Beam, you don't want to get caught by that goo, because that is the sign of a bad time. And as Dragon takes more damage, those swoops that he does, known as a body crush, by the way, they tend to get faster and faster, but Dragon not fast enough for Bagel Thief. That is the fourth and final Gold Tower boss. Now, I almost said Gold Terizo. Oh yeah, it's because Mochtroid's in Lower Norfair. Opting for worst room in the game, so no further checks from him either. So right now, the big difference in this race is Bagel Thief continued on to Crate area, while Mochtroid went for Billy Mays. That appears to be the big difference in the routing. Uh-oh, Mochtroid missed up on the amphitheater. Uh-oh, this is bad. This is bad. Get out of there. Yep, keep moving. Do not stop jumping. I have dropped a space jump there, and that is extremely scary. And Mochtroid is out of there. Whew. That could have been a disaster. And I think because of that, Mochtroid is heading for the Mount Ridley E-Tank. And that's the screw attack, so Mochtroid is going to have a decided combat advantage down the stretch, but will it be enough? I doubt it. However, you cannot deny how useful screw attack is, because that somersault into an enemy just cuts right through them like a hot knife through butter. Yeah, I think he was also getting power bombs, but more importantly, he got paid with that screw attack. Now, chat did mention the schedule. I will pull that up now, have that on hand. Yeah, for tomorrow, tonight rather, or tomorrow, depending on what part of the world you're in, there is a race at 1 a.m. Eastern, with another race at 9:30, a race at 5:30, 3 races at the same time at 6, 2 at 7:30, and 6 at 9, which also includes the race that I have this week. So yeah, tomorrow's going to be a packed schedule. Yeah, the Wednesday schedule is loaded. Chish, I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you. Mochtroid right now taking on Ridley at 103 health, has to be somewhat careful. Screw attack does help in terms of getting away from Ridley. And Ridley pogoing means not enough health. Uh-oh. Can only take 2 more hits from the tail and live, but that will do it for Ridley. Mochtroid survives. Meanwhile, Bagel Thief in Turian. At this point, it's all execution. And as soon as I say that, Bagel Thief gets grabbed by a Metroid as Mochtroid grabs Charge Beam. And at this point, without more fall bombs, your only option is to lay down power bombs. Last Metroid room for Bagel Thief. Does not opt for the damage boost into the blue side hopper room, which I accidentally got that last night in my Compromiser seed as part of the weekly. That movement is so much fun. Would definitely recommend anyone and everyone to learn it because it just looks so good. And it works so good with that room setup too. And no skip, and no baby skip for Bagel Thief. And does turn to the right. That does lead to a faster stand-up for those not in the know. On the left, there's more frames of animation. And Bagel Thief is opting to do an on-the-spot Crystal Flash to restore health. Not a bad strategy. And the only thing left out, there's 2 things left outstanding, no, 4 things we have not seen in this seed. And that would be Wave Beam, that would be Grapple Beam, X-Ray Scope. We haven't seen High Jump either, or Speed Boosters, that's 5. Apparently the math part of my brain failed. I blame the weather. Anyway, Bagel Thief on to Mother Brain. With Charge Ice Plasma, should have no problem getting the kill, especially at 80 tanks, just has to dodge well. Mochtroid has made it out of Lower Norfair. So how would you fight this chat in this situation? Open up with a barrage of supers, or just use Charge Main? Personally, I'd say I'd front load the supers. That's just me. Good evasion so far. Now into the ketchup beam phase. And is through to the final section. And takes a hit to go to a meany number of health. Or could this be an attempt to set up stand-up? It is an attempt to set up stand-up. Have we seen this yet this tournament? Now, it is worth noting that during all of this, the game is trying to force Samus into a down state, but Bagel Thief able to avoid that and is now putting shots into Mother Brain. Now, you do have to be careful because you can soft lock here, and that would just be an absolutely horrible way to lose. That's only going to need a few shots. Even without full power beam, there's no denying that stand-up saves time in this final phase, as that was only a handful of shots compared to the usual amount. So that's definitely a time saving. My hat's off to Bagel Thief for pulling that off. Very well done. Now all that remains is the escape. And without speed, you have to go about this the intended way, which is this long, winding path. And believe me when I say it's a long, winding path. Now, the important thing here is you want to be jumping through that door transition, or else you're going to drop. And dropping causes time loss. Time loss is bad. Okay? Nice job using the Mochtroid as a platform. Also, the enemy is his namesake. As Mochtroid approaches Dragon, Bagel Thief has hit the parlor for the final time this seed. Will he save the animals, or are the animals going to die in a fire? Bagel Thief, round and third, headed for home. Boards the ship, and that is time. Get your GGs in chat for Bagel Thief, who puts down an impressive run, finishing in first place with an official SRL time of 59 minutes, 55 seconds. And Mochtroid just took a death. And with that has waved the white flag and forfeited from the race. GG's to Mochtroid, who put on a fantastic run. Just wasn't meant to be on this day. Okey dokey. It is worth noting that Mochtroid did have Plasma Beam, but if you're not used to the ammo kill or low health, that can be tough. And we are now joined by both Bagel Thief and Mochtroid. GG to the both of you.
Thank you.
Now,
GG,
I'll
Bagel.
start with the early game, because it's the early game. You were both very close, right on each other's heels. It was amazing to watch. But what happened is, as soon as one sec. That always tends to happen with me. I don't know why. I just have that type of luck or something. I don't know. But anyway, more back to where I was going is the divergence was when Mochtroid, you opted to go to Billy Mays while Bagel Thief continued on to Crane. What was going through your minds at that point in the run?
For me, I was really tempted to go to Billy Mays, but then I thought the only thing there in logic was left side morph, and I thought everything was screaming for me to go to Kraid first. Because ice is usually logic to get up red tower, so I expected to find wave or space jump in either Kraid or high jump, and yeah, I was
That's
right.
smart. That makes sense. Should have thought about that. I carried on up because there was so many E-tanks. I thought I'd go to Reg Ship and hope I had some way of getting cross moat. I suck at CWJ. I had one go and I just ran straight in the water. So yeah, that was my thinking there. But I ended up going down and full clearing Norfair. Then going to do lava dive and getting to the lava dive and realizing I didn't have high jump and I can't do it in high jump plus just yet. So I wasted a lot of time rooting that back in, and yeah, messed up there.
So that's that went down. You both, otherwise, you both had very similar routing. You both wound up doing the ice clip, so you didn't bother to look for speed booster, which, if I read the credits right on Bagel Thief's side, was in the sand pits.
Really? Sandpits?
Okay. I had a feeling it was a beach or sand pits. That's why I stopped at beach and shut up for a while. I knew it was either there or sand pits at that point.
Yeah, it was one of those with Wave at Waterway, apparently. So that's a bit far out of the way for full power beam, in my opinion.
Just a bit.
But yeah, I know Bagel's pretty much a better runner than me. So when
I
I'd done
wouldn't
that,
say
when I
that. I'd
got
say
to
we're
that,
fairly equal. To be
maybe.
fair, it's just depends on where we go. I mean, the practice race yesterday we were in, you won because we went different ways and you went the best way. And it just went the other
Yeah.
way this time when it was official. So I
Right.
don't think it's a matter of skill. I think it is just going the right way. And luckily for me, I did it this time.
Okay. Thank you.
I will agree, because in terms of skill of this game, you two are very well matched. I'd say just about equal. From what I saw, it's just the way the random worked.
Yep.
You two went different routes, and this time it wound up working out for Bagel Thief. And I gotta ask, stand-up glitch from Bagel Thief, was that the first time we saw that in the tournament? I didn't hear an answer from anybody, so I was impressed to see that.
No, I've done it before in the tournament. I'm sure I have. Whenever I get the opportunity to do it, I do it. So yeah, I don't know whether anyone else has done it in the tournament before, though.
That
Might have done it
makes
earlier.
sense. I gotta learn. There's so many things I saw this run that I need to learn, like Zeb skip for one. Stand up would be nice, but let's not get too far ahead of ourselves now.
Zeb's a pretty important one. It helps you save a hell of a lot of ammo pickups. And,
Yeah.
yeah, it is. It's one of those crucial ones. Ones to
Yeah.
learn.
Stand up isn't too crucial. It does save time, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's not
Zeb skip.
fundamental at all.
Yeah, Zeb skip's definitely a good one to try and learn.
I think stand up
didn't get.
saves about 20 seconds at most, and I think I may be
Yeah.
greatly exaggerating that because the time taken to collect the E-tanks outweighs the time you save actually performing it. So, it's probably not worth learning, but if you got the opportunity to do it, why not?
But yeah, GG Bagel. That's 5-1
Thank you
for
very
you.
much. Yeah, I noticed you died. Well, you looked dead when I switched over to the stream. What
Oh,
happened?
I just unequipped everything and ran into Dragon. Out of frustration.
Okay.
As soon as I made that lava dive play and realized I didn't have high jump, I just kind of gave up. Like, I knew that either Bagel had already gone to Wreck Ship first and got the suit, or had probably taken the same route as me but didn't go to do the lava dive as well and mess up. So I just kind of gave up at that point. But yeah. It was a good race. Weird seed.
Yeah.
Maybe. Certainly seen a few weird seeds lately across any randomizer involving Super Metroid, in whole or in part. The Combomizer Weekly was an odd one last night. I'll leave it at that.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, thanks for your commentary and restreaming everyone who was involved, and thanks Bagel for the race.
Thank
And
you,
see you
dude.
next time.
Yeah, good luck in the next. Well, good luck for the rest of the tournament. Thank Leslie, Bison, and Reem for commentating, restreaming, and tracking respectively. Thank you.
It was my pleasure to do commentary for this fun race this afternoon. We've got 1 week left to Swiss, and then we hit the rat and mouse brackets. And I'm predicting both of you, we could see this rematch again within the brackets. That would be insane. And personally, I'd love to see it. Chat would love to see it. Maybe it'll happen. Who knows?
Maybe it will be fun.
This one was just as fun. If it happens again down the road, it'll be even more so.
Jeez, thank you.
And
Thank
with
you.
that, feel free to follow both our runners, Mochtroid and Bagel Thief. They both put on a heck of a show. They are the true stars of this race. Otherwise, it's just me having a rant about something. And yeah, I don't like ranting all that often. But I do like talking about randomizer races as well as having fun with chat. So feel free to follow as well our tracker, our restreamer, and myself if you feel so inclined. I play a variety of different randomizers myself, including as Super Metroid Varia randomizer, just to name one. And with that, thank you all for watching. We got one more race tonight at 10, a race at 1 a.m., and a whole mess of races tomorrow. So look forward to all the SMRAT action here on Speedrunners Arena. Until next time, folks, take care. We'll see you next mission.